believe it. We are going to win. And we're going to win not because we're going to browbeat people. We're going to win because we have the ability to do what so many people talked about today, earlier. We have the ability to reach across to our neighbors. We have the ability to reach across to people of other viewpoints and get them to try to understand what we're talking about. You know, a woman came up to me about 75 years old, down where I work, and she said, "Rick, I don't know what I'm going to do because I can't afford the oil that I need this winter for my house." She's on a fixed income. She has no other source of income. She used to pay $2.40 a gallon for oil, and now she's looking at $4.40 a gallon. And she's basically got a choice. She said, I got to get somewhere to live. We have people living on fixed incomes and struggling with families who are going to face the Chesapeake Bay mandate. We have gasoline prices. We have seen a drop, I believe, in enrollment at Penn College because people are struggling. So we have a challenge ahead of us. Last night we met with about 30 people at a meet and greet in Williamsport, sponsored by Joel McDermott. And what was great about it was that we had Democrats, Republicans, and independents there. And this is the secret that you have to know. It is fluid out there. Do you know what I mean when I say it's fluid? People are not locked into positions. They have open minds, they have open hearts, and it's our job to find a way to reach them. Last night we had Republicans talking with us who also are struggling, because guess what? Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, you're paying $4.40 for a gallon of gas. And you're a Republican or a Democrat or an independent, you're living on a fixed income if you're retired. So all of these problems are problems that we can reach across. We can reach across and reach to our neighbors. That's what the Neighbor to Neighbor program is about, right? That the Democratic Party's put together. It's not Democratic neighbor to Democratic neighbor. It's neighbor to neighbor. It's to find a way to reach out and expand the pool and expand the people who are willing to join us. You know, when Barack Obama was speaking, there was one thing that he said that really made an impression on me. He said, "This campaign is not about me, it's about us." And that's what all of these campaigns are. Trey and Chris and myself, we are all underdogs. We're underdogs because we are ordinary people who are involved in the political process trying to make change. And what we have to try to find a way to do is to reach out and understand that the us is our ability to organize something. I said last night the easy part is going to be to win this state representative seat. The hard part is to go to Harrisburg and to organize state representatives in rural areas all across Pennsylvania to fight for rural Pennsylvania. Because the problems that we have in rural Pennsylvania are unique. In the last 20 years, what's happened here has less to do with Republican versus Democrat and more to do with the fact that we live in a rural area as opposed to an urban area. And we need to go and line up with people like Mike Hanna from Clinton County and other representatives from rural areas and begin to put together a blueprint to revitalize rural Pennsylvania and to bring investment to rural Pennsylvania and reach out to our good friends like Jack Wagner's here and others at the state level to get them to help us, to bring investment to this area, to create jobs, so that 20 years ago, when my lovely wife Sarah and I have some kids ready to go to college, they don't have to move away. That's why I'm in this race. So many of us have had our young people have to leave the area because there are no jobs here. Sarah's brothers had to go to New Jersey. All of you have children who have had to move out of the area. And our responsibility is to find a way to take our message to our neighbors, get them as allies in our struggle, and build a coalition of representatives who can stand up on issues that impact rural Pennsylvania. We have to do it person by person. The reason why I say to you that it's fluid is don't assume that just because someone has a Republican or an R before their name, that they're not open to listening and to voting a different way this fall. They absolutely are. We had at least 5 or 10 Republicans tell us last night, we're with you, we're voting with you. And so much of Trey's campaign and Chris Carney's campaign and my campaign is about the fact that we are people, we are ordinary people who are trying to make change. And if you look historically, that's always how it has happened. Whether it was women for the right to vote, or the civil rights movement, or the labor movement, it's always been ordinary people going door to door, knocking on their neighbors' doors, and making change. So join us. We need you. We are not. Some people think this campaign's asleep. It is not asleep. We're having this Saturday at the Eagle Rock Winery, a very reasonable fundraiser, about $20 a head. We would love to have you come and bring someone. Bring your neighbor who you never met, and you're not quite sure how they're registered or whether they're registered. But we have to do that kind of one-on-one organizing work and that one-on-one talking to people to bring this home, as Mary Lou said earlier. And the way we bring it home is by counting the numbers. I was thrilled. I've been talking with Mark Holt, who ran a great campaign in the primary, and we are going to team up and get the Democrats out, right? We had more Democrats out in the primary this time, and it's because we had a contest and because we had ideas. And that is so important. And his contribution was very important because what it did is it mobilized part of the people for a discussion. And that's what we have to do. So please join us. You can come down to headquarters, and please come next Saturday, 12 to 5. Thank you.